Sport, Scott's Menswear, and MG in Marbella. And sanctioned by the IBF, the supervisor will be Roberto Rea from Italy. The local supervisor will be Mel Crystal from the Boxing Union of Ireland. Our three judges scoring this fight from ringside will be John Telecki from Czech Republic, Tony Tiberi from Luxembourg, and Emil Tate from Ireland. Our timekeeper at the bell will be Alex Mackenzie. And the third man in the ring is the referee hailing from England. Please welcome Mickey Van. Introducing to you first, the fighter on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue and white. His official weight, 8 stone 4 pounds. From 46 fights, he has 35 wins, 9 defeats and 2 draws, including 26 KO victories. He comes to us from Chinandega, Nicaragua. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Everth Briceno. And introducing his opponent on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and white, his official weight, 8 stone 2 pounds, 10 ounces. His record stands at perfect 12 wins, 9 of those coming by way of knockout, no defeats. He participated in the 2008 Olympics and he is the current Commonwealth champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Birmingham, the reigning IBF Intercontinental Champion, Kal Yafai.
Both had your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. No naughties with the head. Shake hands. Shake hands, back to your corners. Good luck.
Anytime you hear those words, no naughties with the head, you know Mickey Van is the third man in the ring. And here is Kal Yafai defending his IBF Intercontinental Super Flyweight title and his IBF World Ranking. He's ranked number 14. He needs to protect that here against a man who's stepped in at short notice, less than 2 weeks for Everth Briceno, a 2-time challenger for the world title. He lost to Omar Narvaez, who was docked 3 points in that fight, and also Fernando Montiel. He had 9 days notice for that one. I watched that one, Jim, and he actually came on stronger the longer that fight went on, and that's something Yafai is going to have to watch here, because the longer this fight goes on, the more Briceno might just start working his way into it.
Well, he's an experienced fighter, and he's been a class operator. I think we have to accept the fact that his best days are probably behind him, but I would say the problems he's liable to cause would be early. He hasn't been active at all the last couple of years. So lovely. That was a solid left uppercut from Yafai. That was well picked.
And already a couple of left hooks to the body, but Briceno coming back with something of his own there and looking to land a right hook to the body there as well. You mentioned his inactivity. Briceno just one fight since January 2013, so he's not been very busy. He also didn't make weight yesterday as well, and had a couple of hours to try and make weight, and either couldn't do it or just gave up. Another nice little left to the body there from Briceno. So he can't win this title.
Yeah, when you're facing a 36-year-old who hasn't been too active, you'd expect the stomach muscles maybe not to be quite in the condition they should be in. So that was a lovely body shot, so some more of those I'm sure would get Yafai a result. But Briceno, as you would expect, has come with plenty of ambition. He's taken it at short notice, so I would imagine he's going to give it everything he has in the early stages. Left hook, lovely.
Tough customer, Briceno. Doesn't get stopped very often at all. Leo Santa Cruz stopped him in 11 with a body shot 3 years ago, and you have to go back to 2004 for his only other stoppage. But Yafai looking to try and work him over here. And you mentioned it earlier, Jim, you've already alluded to the body shots. Yafai is turning into quite a nasty body puncher, especially with those left hooks. It's a decent body shot again there from the Nicaraguan, though.
Yafai showing some smarts as well. He's fighting little bursts, then just breaking off, getting out of range for a few seconds, regrouped, back in again. This is clever stuff from him. A body shot again. partly blocked probably by the elbow.
And he followed up with a right upstairs as well.
Briceno making mistakes now. Been caught flat-footed. Yep, though those are bad mistakes he's making for such an experienced fighter.
Really loading up and missing badly there. Yafai again looking for that left hook to the body, but switching it quickly upstairs as well, and he wobbled Briceno there right on the belt. Max McCracken running the corner.
I think Briceno was hurt just on the bell. That was the wicked little left uppercut that landed pretty early in the round. The body shots were terrific. We liked them, don't think Briceno did. So we'll see if that's dented his ambitions or not.
Well, he's not wasted much time in his last couple of fights, Yafai. He stopped Yaqub Karim in 3 to win the Commonwealth title back in May. That was left hooks to the body, and then in September, Harold Molina came in and didn't last very long, just 2 rounds. It was left hooks to the body again. The only thing that's gone wrong in his pro career was that torn biceps muscle he suffered against Michael Ramabaletsa in March 2013, and he had to sit on the sidelines for 8 months waiting for that to heal. Another nice body shot.
Now Briceno's just a little bit too slow to react. He's trying to counter, but he's not sharp enough, doesn't have the sharpness to get that to pay off. And the problem is when he leads off, he's been punished. So he needs a little bit of success, I think, Briceno, just to build, get the confidence to give him something to build on.
Saw him at the weigh-in yesterday, Jim. Actually ended up sitting next to him at one point, and Briceno looked like a man who did not want to be in that room. And if Yafai can continue to discourage him here, he might get rid of him early. And this is a man who doesn't, as I say, get stopped too often. Santa Cruz did it in 11.
See, the trouble is, you know, at 36 years of age, inactive, you know, the reflexes are not the same. Your chin doesn't go, but you take the punches more flush because you've slowed down. You don't ride with the punches, and I think that there's signs of that with Briceno. You know, he's been caught with punches he's not seeing, and he's not quick enough to react.
Rocked back seemingly by that left jab, and another nice left-hand counter comes in from Yafai.
I mean, this is really good stuff from Yafai. You know, it's solid, he's standing his ground, keeping his defences tight, answering everything, and throwing some real quality punches.
Briceno getting through there with a long right, but takes a couple of body shots, then lands one of his own. So still showing some ambition here, the Nicaraguan, and that was a decent looking right to the body there that Yafai took.
Yafai has cut the movement down just for that little 30-second spell. I wonder maybe if he'll show a bit more movement and just pick his moments as he was doing earlier. Just maybe standing his ground a bit more than he was earlier.
Just 1 or 2 little warnings here in this round for Yafai, that he's not going to be able to just coast his way to victory here against this fella. He's going to be made to work for it.
When you're inside, if you lose over, bring them up. Make you pay if you lose over instead. Bring them up, whack them left up around the side of the body.
Max McCracken is issuing the instructions. 1 or 2 warning signs there for Yafai not to take any liberties with this fella, Jim.
Yeah, but I mean, he took a couple of punches, but I mean, let's face it, if it wasn't getting hit, then we'd be wondering who made the match, you know. I mean, he's facing an experienced man who still has something to offer, but the fact that Briceno is not able to sustain anything, that's his big problem, I think.
Both of these fellas at the start of round 3 working the body, then switching upstairs, and Briceno landed a couple. The sweat bouncing off the skull there of Kal Yafai.
See again, Yafai standing his ground. I wonder if he feels he can, you know, outfight this fellow. I would get some more damage done at long range before that idea came into my head.
Well, I go back to those last two fights he's had, and they were so easy for him. He had his way with both of them. And I wondered if he started to think, well, this one's actually going to be pretty straightforward for me as well. I'm too sharp, too fast for this fella. But the old guy, when I go back to what I said earlier, Jim, I watched that Fernando Montiel world title fight he had that he took at short notice. He started slow, but he got better as it went on, you know.
Yeah, well, natural toughness and, you know, natural stamina, fair enough. But I'm just wondering at 36, you know, inactive, just wonder where he's going to find the stamina. You know, he's been picked off too easily with the counters, but he is tough.
Caught there.
Good left hook again.
Yeah, oh, and that's a lovely right uppercut following that left hook to the body. And before that, a left hook upstairs as well. Lovely little combination work there from Yafai.
Yeah, Yafai really showing his class there. You know, cool head. You know, the accuracy really has been terrific since the first bell here for Yafai.
Oh, got him there, shook him, the legs wobbled, and Yafai straight on him.
Yeah, but nothing crazy, just taking his time. This is good. I mean, a 12-rounder is a 12-rounder. So at the back of your mind, you have to be thinking, this is only round 3. So just keep a cool head. The chances will come. A nice little feint there. Yafai drew the mistake.
And a nice right-hand counter as well. And a left to follow. Briceno rocked again. The uppercut in there as well. That's 3 or 4 of those that have ripped through. Picking some lovely shots here, Kal Yafai. Just catching one there. Briceno continuing to show the odd flash of defiance. And showing a willingness to stand toe-to-toe with Yafai here as well.
Now Briceno showing he's still tough as old boots, as he's always been throughout his career. So at the back of Yafai's mind, he wants to be thinking this could go a lot more rounds. Who knows?
He's going to have to be thorough and methodical. But so far, so good for Kal Yafai. He had a big grin on his face as he went back to his corner there. Meanwhile, in this corner, well, they're a long way behind already in a fight that they cannot win because he couldn't make weight yesterday. Or a title he can't win, should I say, to be more specific.
I mean, he's leaving himself out to dry several times now, Briceno. But a lot of that is down to the quickness, the sharpness of Yafai. Look at that nice little dip through the lead and a precision counter bang. I mean, that is real class. That is lovely. Good concentration, not exerting himself. It looked as though the chance had come in that round to get the job done, but no, he just took his time, which was the right thing to do.
Keep boxing him, Cal. Relaxed.
And the last word there from Max McCracken, relax. He looks relaxed. Round 4 of this 12-rounder. Kal Yafai defending his IBF Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. And that number 14 ranking with that governing body. There was some talk of a Commonwealth title fight against Luke Wilton, but which would have been entertaining. Oh, nice right hand there from Briceno. But there wasn't enough time to get that fight made. Somewhere down the road, talking of domestic rivals, Paul Butler's name is the other one that comes up. Maybe one day. Those two in the same ring. Lovely combination work again from Yafai. And look how quickly he got out of range as well.
Really, I mean, I can't fault what Yafai has done so far. Okay, he's taken a few shots. But keeping in mind he's facing a guy who's been in world class.
Well, he loaded up there and paid the price.
Yep. So now this is good. It's solid. He maybe engages in the rounds a little bit earlier than I would. I'd like to see him use the long range stuff, frustrate this fellow for the first minute, then step in with the bigger punches. But this really is lovely, accurate punching.
And it's just the odd single punch that's coming back from Briceno now, although he did try to lead with the double jab there. Nice right hand from Yafai. Digging in here, the 33-year-old Nicaraguan. 36-year-old Nicaraguan, taking some years off him.
Well, thank you for that.
Probably wishes he was 33. Don't we all?
See, I like this. Yafai's thinking what he's doing now. You know, he's keeping a little bit of working room between himself and Briceno. It's when he stands his ground and exchanges punches that he's been caught. But now this is clever. This really is clever stuff. Briceno has nothing in his arsenal to match this kind of stuff.
And there's a lot less coming back from Briceno in this round as well. Significantly, the work rate dropping here.
See, he's not been allowed close enough to be effective. He's reaching with the punches, easy to counter. So clever stuff there from Yafai. But he's having to work for this. Full credit to Briceno. He's giving it a real go.
He continues to give it a go. Lunging in there though, and again, that could prove costly. And Yafai again, getting out of range. Really clever work. Really good stuff from Yafai, who is loving it.
Stay calm. Stay relaxed. Just keep moving, pal. Keep making him miss and making him pay. You can't stand in front of him if he's coming out and swings. Catch him with silly shots. You have to keep moving, keep driving him mad. Make him miss, make him pay. When he leaves, he's eating that jab and right hand.
Trying to listen in there to Max McCracken and what he's having to say. But surely he must be very happy with what he's seeing here.
Well, I was certainly happy. A little bit of growling at the end of the round there. But, I mean, Briceno had 3 minutes to inflict some damage, so no good doing it after the 3 minutes.
Round 5, it is scheduled for 12. Talking to Kal earlier in the week, he said that is something he wants somewhere down the road, sooner rather than later, a tough 12-rounder. And Briceno reaching into the box of tricks there. That wasn't south of the border, that was somewhere down the Antarctic.
Mickey Van said that's the second time. I didn't see the first.
There was one.
Well,
yeah, there was one.
Yep. Oh, well.
Well, that was a blatant one. Yafai not making too much of it and getting on with it. But as I say, you don't survive in this game as long as Briceno has without learning a few tricks. And if nothing else, he bought himself a bit of time there. As I said before, this is a fella that's used to having points docked every once in a while.
See, this is what I like to see Yafai doing, you know, in the first minute or so of the round. Just keep it at long range, let this fellow reach with his punches, frustrate him, punish him.
Oh, got him.
Terrific.
What a series of punches that was from Kal Yafai. Lightning fast, accurate and painful. And is Briceno even going to continue? He's up. He's up. But there were 3 or 4 punches delivered with real menace there from Yafai. It's going to take a lot for Briceno to get through this round. Still got nearly 2 full minutes. There's another body shot. Yafai looking to try and work that same area. Gets him again with another left to the body. And Briceno digging in. Finds a right hand himself.
Yafai, keep the cool head.
And again, another low one.
Yep, that's the last warning before a point comes off.
It's obvious what he's doing. Again, buying some time, even if it means a point. The roughhouse tactics from Briceno are really the last resort now. He's got no other alternative, and Yafai just slicing him up here. Just buzzing around him.
Yafai's just looking different class to this fella now. Briceno's defences have scattered, which with a man of his experience, he should really be tightening up at this point.
And he's moving in slow motion in comparison with Yafai as well. He was so fast on his feet. Briceno just plodding around, loading up. But I'll give him his credit, Jim. He looked out on his knees there when he was taking that count, and here he is. He's got down to the last 30 seconds or so. Might just get through this round.
Yeah, but how smart has Yafai been, you know, just keeping the same steady pace, every punch, solid, accurate, didn't go crazy looking for the stoppage. He knows how tough this guy is. I mean, we do have to say this is the best opponent Yafai has faced so far, and he has handled them in a really professional manner.
But Briceno, to his credit, not going quietly. And Yafai is going to have to take his time, pace this, and continue just to chip away at this very proud man from Nicaragua.
Well, he's recovered from the body shot, Briceno. Terrific round, terrific performance.
And Jim, for me, that was a clash of... It was a real flash of pure world class we saw there from Yafai. That combination and the way he finished it, just brutal.
No, it was terrific. I mean, Yafai's been pretty terrific right from the start, but there you go, bang on the ribs. Down he goes, little delayed action. Looked as though maybe he wasn't going to manage to beat the count. Badly hurt, but to his credit, got himself back onto his feet and actually got himself back into the round again towards the end. A real tough, proud old pro, but he doesn't want too many of those. And that was the first of the low blows in that round. And as you're saying, experience, buy a little bit of time when necessary.
Round 6.
Very low off his stool there, right in front of us. Everth Briceno. And some running repairs needed on the right glove. The taping has worn loose. All the tricks are coming out now, Jim.
Well, that was actually loose, you know, during the previous round. I don't know if they didn't spot it or they thought buy a little bit more time, I don't know.
Let's loosen a bit more.
Yeah. But it was certainly loose during the last round.
Well, this was a man who was shown some reluctance to get off his stool in the first place. And this is a good another 20 or 30 seconds here that they're taking their time with that. But he's been patched up again. And how much more of this can he take?
And the tape loose again, the right glove. These are solid punches from Briceno.
Yeah.
He's digging them in. Is this a final effort from him or what?
And that bit of tape needs to be sorted out. He blocks off that uppercut this time. And again, here we go.
I think Mickey's going to need scissors to... Nah, he's managed it. Well done, Mickey Van. Yeah, well, Briceno giving it a real go in this round, so this is a time when Yafai should just switch to boxing. That's it. Just move out of range. Briceno really trying to get a foothold in this round, giving it everything.
Looking to see if he can bully Yafai here. Well, he's tried a bit of roughhouse stuff. But as you say, Jim, is this a last roll of the dice from a fella who's 36 years old, who's only boxed once in nearly 2 years, and who took this at less than 2 weeks' notice, and who is already a mile behind on the cards.
I think he's blown a bit of steam, Briceno.
Yafai couldn't capitalise there. Briceno got out of trouble. Yafai looks to double up that left hand, body to head, and vice versa. He really does use it effectively.
These are lovely punches from Yafai. The left hook followed by the straight right cross. Here comes the jab. Nah, lovely.
And he's pacing himself so well, working for the openings. And another low one, another ridiculously low one. And
That's got to be a point.
Here comes a point. Well, it's been coming. Not for the first time in his career. Everth Briceno finds himself docked a point. And all of them have been, I mean, there's nothing borderline about any of them, Jim.
Not certainly blatant. Don't know if they were intentional, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that big overhand right that he came up with, but look at the two lefts to the body that he took. Took him well, to be fair, and that jab comes steaming through. The tape's worn loose again on the left glove of Briceno. He's unraveling in more senses than one here.
Yeah, Mickey Van knows we're almost at the end of the round, so he'll make sure they repair that during the break. There he goes.
Well, he's won
Big round again.
Won every round for me and Jim. I wonder how Jamie's seeing it. He's with Ed.
Kal Yafai not doing much wrong at the moment. You're a trainer now, Jamie. What advice would you be giving him into round?
I think he's getting the right advice in the corner, because by the look of it, they're telling him to, as Briceno comes in, to sort of touch him upstairs and sink him round the sides. He's 36 years old, you know, those shots are going to have a better effect at this sort of age. They're going to slow him down. So I think he's going to try and drag him into the later rounds, and then hopefully I think he'll start whipping him up the middle. I think once he's broke him down round the sides, once you start getting the shots up the middle, the solar plexus shots, they're the killers. But I think he's chopping the right hook over the top as well. But Briceno seems to be taking it quite well. So I think what they'll do is they'll chop him round the top and then start to sink it up the middle with the left. So because Kal throws the left uppercut to the body particularly well. So I think that's the shot to look for.
Thank you, Jamie.
Well, let's see if Jamie's right. Round 7. Well, they're still messing around with that right glove of Everth Briceno. Everybody's getting involved, and now the scissors are finally come in. There's a bit of grease being cleared off as well. They are using all the tricks in that corner. And the tape, by the way, is now coming loose on the left glove and the right glove. So it really is. It's a mess in there for the old boy. He must be wondering, why have I come to Dublin for this? And yeah, it's just getting ridiculous, quite frankly.
I mean, you can only assume that the tape is of poor quality. I mean, okay, now and again, you know, I mean, you buy decent tape that's adhesive enough to hold together, but that just doesn't seem able to be.
There's some non-stick tape we've got in here tonight. All these little things could be breaking the concentration of Kal Yafai, the low shots, the stoppages to get the tape sorted out. He's just got to stay focused on the job. Not going to do him any harm at all, this though, Jim. Another terrific straight ramrod left hand. You know, like I say, the last two fights, the first time he's landed, he's more or less got rid of his opponents. It's not going to do him any harm at all here to have someone that he can really unload on, who is still there and still sticking around and taking it.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed at the way he's paced things here. A couple of times he's hurt Briceno, but he's just, you know, he's let some punches go, but hasn't gone crazy. I think he's paying this fellow full respect. He knows how hard he's, you know, the punches he's landed. He knows they're landing cleanly, and Briceno's still there. Still, you know, seems to have a bit left in the tank. So it's important that he thinks about pacing himself as well as getting the job done.
Again, dominating here. I mentioned the Michael fight back in March of 2013 when he hurt his bicep. Early in that fight as well, and had to go the full 8 rounds with almost one arm. It was his toughest night so far. He's never been past 8, so we're getting close to that territory now.
But he's been the one controlling the pace all the way through here as we come into the last minute of the 7th round.
Well, I did wonder earlier, didn't I, Jim, whether the longer this fight went on, maybe Briceno would start to work his way into it. He's sticking around, certainly, but I'm not seeing any evidence that he's starting to work his way into this. Yafai is still totally in control.
But I will say, Briceno, no signs that he's going to crumble all of a sudden. So, I mean, it took a big punch to put him on the floor. And signs are it's going to take an even bigger one to keep him there. So Yafai has been very sensible, just keeping part of his mind that this could go a long way.
Well, this might turn out to be the tough 12-rounder that Kal Yafai says he wants. That was nice. Briceno just lunged in and paid the price, and there's another one of those lefts to the body. He's landed so many tonight, Yafai. You must be wondering what on earth's keeping this fella up. Another round of near dominance from Kal Yafai. It's more of the same, really, isn't it? Round after round.
Yeah, Briceno has tried every trick in the book, some of them not in the book, and he's lost a point because of that. But, I mean, Briceno, we couldn't have asked any more from him. He's a little bit past his best, as we said earlier. But Yafai has been terrific tonight. His concentration, the movement, picking his spots when he wants to let the punches go. Good, solid punches. And look, I'm sitting there looking perfectly comfortable.
Just outside that little group is his brother, Gamal, who's made a very explosive start to his pro career as well. 6 siblings in all. Kal has come a long, long way. If you'd have looked at Kal after 10 fights as an amateur, you'd have said this kid's got no chance at all. He lost 8 of them. But stuck with it, persevered, worked and worked. Ended up representing his country in the Olympics. Nearly went again, but lost that box off to Andrew Selby. And that was when he realised it's time to turn pro. Gamal has followed him, and there's another brother, Galal, waiting in the wings as well. Still no sign that Briceno is ready to hoist the white flag anytime soon. Continues to get punished with those lefts from Yafai.
He looks quite happy when Yafai's prepared to stand with him. That's the kind of fight he is used to, the kind of fight he wants, but that's good stuff there. Get him onto his heels.
Briceno firing back with stuff though. And Yafai calling him in. The tape's all over the place with Briceno. I think Mickey Van's just giving up at this point. Absolutely ridiculous. He's ripping it off.
Well, I mean, Yafai is in the same fight. His tapes are perfect, you know, perfect conditions. So obviously they've been buying some cheap tape, and it's been a complete nuisance all the way through.
Telling off, taking his time. Breaking there for Briceno, who loaded up with the right hand. Yafai saw it coming.
Yafai maybe still doing enough to win the round, but not dominating here the way he was doing earlier. So we're in the 8th round. That was good stuff from him.
And the finishing body shot. Terrific. He softened him up with the first one, realised it, and then sunk in another one. And is that enough for Briceno? They're telling him to take his time in the corner, and he got up at 8. Can he get through the next 30 seconds? Body shots once again, his undoing. Yafai really just loading up. They're going again, and he's felt that one as well. And there's not much resistance left. Can he get the job done here in 8? He's shaking his head at his corner. They're instructing him to take his time, and he looked at them and said, I don't know how much more of this I can take. A nod to Mickey Van. He is brave and he is proud, but the clock ticking here. And can Yafai get him done, or is he going to survive? And it really is brutal one-way traffic now.
It's amazing he's fighting back.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's incredible, incredibly tough.
Somehow, he heard the bell. Goodness knows how. You have to admire his courage and his heart. I'm sure he looked at his corner there, Jim, and just shook his head. And yet somewhere, the warrior's pride just kicked in and he said, no, I'm not giving up.
Well, you can't compliment his toughness enough. I mean, that was terrific. But good on Kal Yafai, because just at a time when Briceno was trying to get himself back into the fight, maybe enjoying his best spell, I don't think it was winning. And Yafai just took everything away from him with that single body shot. From that point on, full credit for Briceno to get himself back into things, actually start getting off punches of his own. But those punches would have finished most at the weight. Those were terrific punches. Look at that. Right on the spot.
But even when he's getting nailed, he's still firing back. Brave, brave man. So, new territory for Kal Yafai. Can he get the job done here? Can he finish him off? There is a case, Jim, for saying Briceno's corner should be making an intervention here, because he's miles behind. He's been down 3 times, can't win it, surely.
But Nick, if he was down 3 times with head punches, I think Mickey Van would be maybe thinking, but when you're going down from body punches, you know, these fighters are proud. So, I mean, nobody wants to throw the towel in from body shots unless they have just no chance, they just can't get up again. And they're a tough breed over there as well. I don't think anyone concerning, you know, in the camp of Briceno is even thinking about calling this off.
There was certainly no evidence of it at all in the corner. Briceno, as you say, not the kind of fella that's going to quit. Oh, those hurtful body shots. Yafai sitting.
Pace, done a lot of work, but you know, I think this is a little lesson for Yafai, that as you move up towards world level, they're a different breed. The punches, they get rid of guys at the lower level, don't get rid of these guys. So just a little reminder, you have to be in the best shape of your life boxing at the top level.
Well, he's very aware of that, isn't he, Jim? You talk to him, he knows that he's had it easy, certainly his last couple of fights, that he said he needed a tough one. I'm not sure he realised this was going to be the tough one, because at 36 years old at short notice and coming halfway around the world, you know, the prospects weren't great for Briceno, but boy, he has toughed it out. And he's making Yafai work for this. No sign at all of Yafai's work rate or tempo slowing at all.
Briceno is looking heavy-legged now. You know, those body punches, actually, the whole 8 rounds has taken so much out of him. I just don't think he has much left. He's just fighting on sheer courage.
Missing badly there, and another low one goes in, and I think that was tiredness. It's bounced off the hip. The tape all over the place again. We're going to have another interruption here. Yafai sticking with it. Look at this though, Briceno trying to get on the front foot.
Not really much that Yafai hasn't done that he would suggest he does. I mean, he's gone through the whole box of tricks tonight. It's been a pretty complete performance from him. Defensively, he's been good. His movement's been good. His punching's been terrific.
But you can't fault Yafai. If anything, you'd say, well, he should have got this fella out of there. But for goodness sake, he's had him on the floor 3 times. He won't go anywhere, this guy. And another round goes by. It's as one-sided a fight as I can remember seeing in a long time. And somewhere at the back of his mind, he must be thinking, what is it going to take to stop this fella?
Yeah, another round of quality from Yafai, but you know, sheer stubbornness from Briceno, just won't call it a day, won't give up. And trying to launch a few attacks of his own. I mean, it's difficult to understand the pride of some of these fighters. I mean, he's a mile behind in points, hasn't won a round, been on the floor, docked a point, but still in there giving it his best shot. I used to be a fighter, Nick, and I sometimes don't understand it.
Round 10 then. Kal Yafai in with a tough Nicaraguan. Something that happened to you once upon a time many years ago.
Yep, I remember it well.
That one didn't end too well for British interest. Alexis Arguello, though, a different type of fighter altogether. This fella's got a big heart. Is there a case? I mean, just playing devil's advocate here. If he can't get the stoppage here, Yafai, is there a case of questioning his power or anything like that if he doesn't get the stoppage, or is it just the fact that he's up against an exceptionally durable and committed opponent here?
Now, you look at some of the men that this fellow has taken the distance. You know, he's just incredibly tough. I mean, that punch landed in the jaw. Most of the head shots are landing high, you know, on his forehead, at the side of the head, and he's able to take those. But no, I can't fault the power. You saw the reaction when the body shots went in. There's nothing wrong with Yafai's power. This guy is just incredibly tough.
I mean, for me, it's near faultless from Yafai. I mean, he did lunge in at one point early, one of the early rounds. He lunged in and got caught with a counter, but I can't think of too many errors that he's made in this fight. It's been a real good learning experience for a guy who's got big ambitions in the game.
I think Yafai has settled to the fact that this is a 12-rounder now. Just conserving energy in this round.
Well, if it does go 12, it's going to be one of the most lopsided scorecards. It's going to be 120s, 106s. And again, just target practice for Yafai.
Oh, that was
the
lovely.
uppercut. Jamie Moore talking about that. Picked his shot. But as you say, Jim, some of the intensity just left Yafai's work. As you say, I think he realises it's going to take a bulldozer to get this fella out of here.
Yeah, well, I think he's accepted the fact he can't hit him any harder or any more cleanly than he's done. So, just carry on, get the job completed. I mean, it's an appreciative crowd, but I mean, it's been so one-sided, it's difficult to get them on the edge of their seat. No doubt if this was in Birmingham, you know, they'd be cheering the place down. But I think everyone here accepts what a professional performance has been from Yafai.
It's a performance that puts him up to a new level. Osman Rosales, that's the corner man there that we're looking at. He's been making regular phone calls. He's racking up quite a bill on his roaming, if he is phoning back to Nicaragua. Or he's looking for a local pizza. Lots to come here tonight, including an all-Irish dust-up. Gary Spike O'Sullivan and Anthony Fitzgerald. That's Dublin versus Cork. John Joe Nevin, a very decorated amateur, up against Jack Heath, and then the main event, Matthew Macklin putting his career on the line against Jorge Sebastian Highland of Buenos Aires, another tough guy. All that still to come. But first, we wait for Kal Yafai to get rid of Everth Briceno. And if the Nicaraguan can get through 10 rounds, the expectation is he will get through another couple here. One of those 2 stoppages on his card. Number 1 goes back to 2004. The only other one, Leo Santa Cruz, who got him with body shots in the 11th. Santa Cruz, a world champion at Super Phantom.
can only assume Briceno, you know, must have been in great shape already when he was offered this job. Because, I mean, you know, the stamina that he's shown here, you know, sticking with the task, he's in terrific shape. I mean, natural toughness is one thing, but I mean, even now, you know, he's still trying to launch attacks. Good stuff from Yafai.
Yafai says he wants to be in the world title mix this time next year. A fight like this will help him bridge that gap, won't it? Bridge that gulf. He needed this, a real tough one. Even though it's been comfortable for him, he's never been able to just sort of go into neutral, as it were, and coast his way through, because even now, as you say, for all the punishment he's taken, Briceno is still trying to fire back at him.
No, as I say, it's a good lesson, you know, definitely a different breed up at this level.
Is Yafai a guy you can see mixing it up at world class in 12 months' time?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen anything. Well, I wouldn't be in any great hurry, you know, but you want a fighter to be at his best when he challenges for a world title. I mean, you can't fault the technique. The power's there. You know, everything's there. Just the experience, and that just comes with, you know, mixing it, you know, just below the top level.
Continues to do a lot of his work in Sheffield with the GB boys, where he spent so much of his time, of course. Kal Yafai just sparring with lots of different styles. He's continuing to learn. He looks back at that 8 months that he was on the sideline when he couldn't throw a punch. He said it was so frustrating and he just missed the game so much. And again, just terrific combinations. Finished off with a nice body shot, and Briceno soaks it all up. He cannot get rid of him.
And credit again to Briceno. I mean, he's given it a real go here in the 11th round. Lovely from Yafai. Still looks to have plenty in the tank. Yafai paced it beautifully.
And I think that's the thing that's impressed me as much as anything, because he put so much into those first 6 or 7 rounds. It was so easy for him. But it's not like he's dropped off the cliff or anything. The longer it's gone on, he's stayed right on top of his game. There aren't many that would have survived as long as this fella has, because he's been hit with everything, Jim. He really has.
Yeah, I know the reaction Yafai's had is from the body shots, but the experience there, Briceno is able to partly block some of those body shots, so not taking the full power of them, but just little spells where you think Briceno's going to get a foothold in the fight, and Yafai puts the pedal down and takes it away from him again. It's been one-sided, but it's been entertaining, and you know, full of admiration for this man here, Briceno.
Well, I'm not sure that that's shared by Gustavo Herrera, his lead cornerman, who gave him a right old rocket there. I mean, that's harsh. I mean, he's been put through the ringer for 11 rounds here, and he's just been basically sent out with a rocket here. Briceno, go out and get the fight won. Well, he's given everything he's got.
See, they're coming here knowing that they're facing a young man with 12 fights. So they must really have fancied their chances when you look at the level that this fella's boxed at. So, I mean, it's easy for the cornermen to be disappointed and think he should have done better. But no, Briceno could not have given this any more than he's given it.
And short of the stoppage, Yafai couldn't have done anything better either. Mature performance this from a guy, as you say, who had 12 fights coming into this one. And pinged a lot of opponents out of there early as well. And this is the kind of fight where you find out a little bit about somebody mentally as well. Anybody can go in there and be a bully and just beat up somebody who goes down at the first punch, but Yafai has not been able to get rid of this guy, but has stuck to the task really well, and even now he's landing clean and flush pretty much wherever he wants, and Briceno just taking it all.
It's amazing that Briceno has never been troubled by any of the head shots. I don't know how many he's taken, but he's taken some full-blooded shots to the head, blinks, and just gets on with the job. Incredibly tough.
He's going to have sore hands tomorrow, Kal Yafai. no question. All those punches that have bounced off the head of the Nicaraguan.
Well, an important lesson has been learned from Kal Yafai. He can go 12 rounds at a pace. Okay, he's had things pretty much his own way most of the time, but he set a terrific pace and he maintained it all the way through.
He's been on the floor twice, or 3 times in 2 different rounds, so you're looking at a couple of 10-8, maybe even the 10-7
There was a
in there.
10-7 round, there was a 10-7 round, yes.
I mean, it's going to be...
And that was the 7th.
Goodness. A chasm between the two of them. I can't make a case from even getting a share of a round here.
No.
But don't knock him, because he's given everything he's got, and he is one tough, proud man, Briceno. And Yafai is going to be taken the full 12. And in terms of the big picture, this is going to do him no harm at all. Last 15 seconds. Couple of seconds and a body shot right on the right at the finish as well, and Briceno, a big smile for Yafai, and Yafai looked at him. Why not? Rightly so. Yafai won every round comfortably, but that was a hard night's work against a very proud man.
Yep, full credit to both men, particularly Briceno. I mean, you could not have complained really if he decided to quit halfway through. On the floor, points deductions, taking everything that was coming towards him, never at any time getting a foothold in the fight. But terrific performance from Yafai, and I'm sure a lesson well learned.
I thought there was a lot to like in that performance from Kal Yafai. As much as anything, the fact that he didn't run out of ideas, he didn't run out of gas. How often have we seen him, particularly in recent months, Jim? He's landed those body shots, watched the opponent fold up, and it's just been an easy night for him. This wasn't easy. Even when he had his man on the floor, up he got again. But he paced himself well, he kept himself together mentally. All those little breaks for the tape, those body shots coming, or those low blows coming in. I mean, Briceno tried everything he could just to delay and stall and frustrate, and Yafai just kept zeroed in on the task. Very mature performance from him. There's the, he's going to be one hell of a phone bill.
Well, the corner are smiling now. I think everyone, especially Briceno, will be happy that this one is over. That was a punishing night for him.
Yeah, you could be looking at 121-104 for this fight. And that does reflect the gulf between them. It's interesting, the crowd actually lost interest around about round 8-9, didn't they, Jim? Because it was just, in a sense, it just became repetitive. You've just seen the same thing over and over again. No, but you can't fault Yafai for that.
No, they were appreciative of what was going on, but I mean, you keep in mind he's not bossing at home here. I said earlier, if this fight had been in Birmingham, they were probably screaming the place down. But the Irish fans are some of the best in the world. They know what they're looking at, and they know they were looking at a masterclass, but at no time really was it competitive.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 hard-fought rounds, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision, and here are the score totals. Tony Tiberi had it 119-106. John Telicki had it 118-105. Emil Teed had it 120-104 in favor of your winner and still champion, Kal Yafai.
We're not going to argue with any of those scorecards. A landslide for Kal Yafai, who retains his IBF Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. And big things ahead for the Super Fly from Birmingham. Now, speaking of Birmingham, that's where Matthew Macklin comes from, obviously of Irish heritage, but